Hi. Uh, this morning, my son and I are out here in front of the pawpaw tree that we had talked about once before. And a little bit of something I'm going to try and share with you what I do know about pawpaws. Pawpaw is a native fruit of the U.S. Uh, a lot of the settlers used it. Uh, the Indians used it. It's just a natural fruit tree. You look at the leaves. The leaves are almost tropical in texture. They put out a fruit, the ones I've seen, probably around a half a pound, laced with seeds in there. A lot of people talk about how they taste. Me personally, I think they taste somewhere in between a custard and a banana. And that being said, this tree right here came from an individual that lived down the road who has passed since. And it was a dug up tree cut from the root of another tree, and I ended up getting several of the pawpaws from him, and by the way, from different trees, not the same tree, because if you try to uh, take little trees that are coming off of a big tree like this and put those two together, they won't produce pawpaws. They won't, for coming from the same mother tree as you say, they won't produce. Uh, this tree is more than big enough to produce pawpaws. And what I've done is tried to figure out a way to get more off this tree. Now, uh, there's a natural insecticide inside these that bugs that get in there and try to eat on the leaves, uh, it'll actually kill them. But there is one type of bug that is able to manage to survive with these, and although I've never seen them, they say the zebra swallow-tailed butterfly. This is a host tree for them. I've seen, I've seen tiger swallowtails, but never a zebra swallowtail. Maybe as years goes on, they'll figure out that this little colony is here, and they'll start coming into this area. That being said, now one of the things that I'm going to talk about today is taking a cut uh, uh, tree from the root of this tree, in which they say the survival rate is only like 10%. Uh, I got one I dug up earlier and moved it over by the chicken coop next to a different pawpaw for a cross-pollination later on down the road. I'm going to move these limbs back. You can look back down in there and you'll see where I have dug up trees in here. You see the little divots down in there where I've been digging trees up out of there. And by the way, they're still alive. Okay, here you go. Now, what I'm doing here today is I came out, and if you look down here, you'll see that I have pawpaws that have come up. Good sized little pawpaw right there. This one here is really a good size. That's a 2-year shoot. Now, what I'm going to do here, that you're going to see, I'm going to get in here. I'm going to find that root, which I have found. I threw dirt back on there until I'm ready to cut it. Take my little shovel and I'm going to scoop this dirt out of here, out of my way. Okay, if you look down here, you'll see where I dug out. There is the tap that's feeding this one particular tree, and there's another little tap down there, but it's not very big. But that's your main tap. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here and I'm going to cut that tap, and then I'm going to leave that tree alone and see if it's going to survive the cut from that tap. And if it does, great. I'll dig it up in the fall and look into transplanting it closer to one of the other trees down there that are not from the same mother root, and use it as a cross pollinator. So here we go. Now you can see I just cut that tap. All right. And now what I'm going to do is, since I got that cut, shove that dirt back in there. We're going to give her a few days. I'm going to come back out here. I'm going to see if it survived that cut. And that's a good sized tree. That tree is more than 2 foot tall, and a tree that size would be able to withstand being out in the sun. That's a healthy looking stalk on that tree, but we shall see how that turns out. I got another one over here I wanted to show you. Now this one right here I had worked on yesterday, and you can see right there where I dug one up, come off the main root up there, and I'm thinking that root runs right down through here and it's feeding this one right here. That being said, if you look down inside here, you can see where I've really done a lot of digging, and there's a root coming over here, but I'm having a hard time finding that tap, that big main tap down in there in the bottom. But it's got to be in there somewhere. Even had to remove a big rock to get in there. I'm going to go ahead and work on that one. That too, as you can see, is a nice tree. It's got a nice size to it. There's 2 of them growing in there together, which I'll leave the 2 together. But you just got to kind of keep feeling around and see if I can find that main tap. I want to cut that main tap, and I'm having a hard time finding it, but it's down there somewhere, and I just want to get to it. Now you can also see, as you look down in here deep, there's a lot of fibrous root coming off of that tree. So once I find that root tap, I'm going to cut it, and it should live because it's got a lot of fiber coming off of it. There's a real nice fiber coming off of it right there. Unless it's just one tap right here. Cut that tap out of the way. We'll cut it back this way a little bit. Now where I cut that, what will happen is there'll be little root fibers that will come off that, so that may help it. I'll work on that little tree a little bit later on and see what goes on with it. I spent probably about 45 minutes yesterday trying to find that tap. That tap's down there. That's coming off that mother tree, and I just got to get in there and figure out where it's coming off that mother tree at, and savor the umbilical cord, as I like to call it, and possibly see if we can't get something to live. Now over here, back at this one, you notice right beside it, there's two others. And that tap was in between this one and this one that I had cut. Now there's got to be another tap in here. I'm going to see if I can find that other tap. Right there. I think I just found it. No, it's a totally different root there. Way back in there, I see it. Right there it is. There's tap. See it right there? And I'm going to cut that. There. Okay, there's 3 trees right there. We have a tap coming from the mother tree to the left from where the angle I'm setting at, and it's cutting across. Had trees come up here, and that tap continued on across between these 2 trees. And what I've done is I've just cut this tree away from the mother plant, and these 3 I cut away from the mother plant. And we'll see if they're going to survive, which they should. Leave them in place. It's dry out right now, and let them do their own thing. Now, if they make it, they'll make nice trees to plant. We'll find out this fall. Just that one right there is the one that's got me baffled on where that daggone tap is. But I'll find that tap. Anyway, if you like what you see, hit like and subscribe. And my name's Jim. You have a good day.